Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Beth Bond with Southeast Green, and this is my second scope for the night. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I have so many people who ask me for their help. Hey, Rosh, welcome to the show. So, let me tell you a little bit about Southeast Green. We are the largest online news site for sustainable business and environmental policy news. We cover 13 states, and many people see my business as my sustainability work. And I waxed poetically for 30 minutes tonight about water, but really the work of Southeast Green is building the website, which I do myself, building the social media channels, which I do myself. And I'm not saying I'm not saying it's all about me. I'm just saying a lot of people see the site and it gets so big. This is about building SEO terms for sustainability, in particular websites. So Southeast Green covers 13 states. We cover Florida to Texas to Virginia and Maryland. We get about 500,000 to 750,000 page views a month. When you consider how geeky wonky we are, it's pretty cool that we get that many, and especially the Southeast in the United States. For those of you who are overseas, is one of the most conservative portions of the United States, and sustainability is previewed as progressive or liberal, and so places like the Northeast and in particular California are doing much more. But we're doing a lot here in the Southeast, and we've made a lot of progress, which has been really exciting. So, but to do what I do, I've had to teach myself everything in regards to social media. I already knew how to do websites. For those of you who are interested, we're using Joomla instead of WordPress. I think WordPress is great, and especially if you are a small website or you're just posting a couple times a week, I think WordPress is phenomenal, and clearly there's more apps that are easier for people to understand on WordPress. But we have over 14,000 pages of content now, and so the directory structure I find much easier. It's very linear, and it's easier to navigate and easier to find things than I think WordPress is. WordPress, you have to rely on a lot of searching. So what I wanted to talk to tonight about is how to use SEO to drive traffic to your website. So when you're doing SEO, and for those of you who don't know, SEO is it's search engine optimization. There's a lot of rules, and they change, and Google has to change because people cheat, and people cheat the new rules, and then they change the rules again. But the best way to do SEO so you stay clean and do not get put in Google jail, which I inadvertently did myself, is to be honest about the content you have. So if you're in Joomla, you don't have to add any kind of apps for SEO. But if you're in WordPress, I recommend All-in-One SEO. It's an app, and what it does is it allows you to put title, it allows you to put description, and it allows you to put keywords, which is really important in WordPress because in pages, not posts, in your pages, you don't have an opportunity to place the keywords without installing an external app, which I think is sort of terrible, but it is what it is. So if you want to get tags on your pages in WordPress, not your post, but you really need to install All-in-One SEO is what I recommend. So I'm just going to go through 3 quick tips about how to make this to do the title and the meta description and the tags really easy. So the first thing for the title is you can create a new title, but why not use the title you have? The one caveat is if the title, because we post a lot of press releases on Southeast Green, I get posts that are crazy insane long. They're not. Everyone should be writing titles thinking about Twitter. You should be able to make your stuff exciting enough to fit in 140 characters. And yet I get almost a paragraph for a headline or a title. So the one time, if for some reason you've gone over 140 characters, for instance, then that would be the one time you would want to edit what you're putting in your title. So, and in All-in-One SEO in WordPress, you have an opportunity to paste the title. If you don't paste a title, it'll just automatically pull it in. If you're in Joomla, you don't have to worry about it. I stick with, if it's a press release that I'm posting, I stick with the incredibly long title in Joomla. But when I go into Twitter to post, I shorten it, obviously, to the 140 characters, or it won't send. So, and actually it's shorter than 140 characters because you've got to post the link. So when you're doing the titles, think about, titles can be really hard, but I think especially in PR world, they spend too much time trying to explain everything in the title. And what it should be more is an amuse-bouche, right? Something to make you hungry, want to eat more, not the entire story in one line. That's not going to work for social media. I find it sort of shocking that, in a world where we've had Twitter, over, 5-7 years now, that people still don't get it, that the title needs to be short and quick and tweetable. So in the description, normally I just grab the first sentence, but that also, the way you think about it is when you're in Google, you'll see the headline and then you see that first line, and that's the appetizer. You've had the amuse-bouche with the title, and then you're going to have, your sort of appetizer to get you ready for the next meal. Do I work in PR? I work around PR. I don't consider myself a public relations person. I don't have a degree in it. But because Southeast Green posts so many press releases, just for those of you who are coming on, Southeast Green is my website. It's the largest online news site for sustainable business and environmental policy in the Southeast. And because I've worked with so many PR people and we post so many press releases, and the way we've really grown our content and our following is through social media, I have a lot of experience and a lot of opinions about what PR people need to do, and that will be one of my periscopes. So I'm trying to scope on stuff that's pertinent to sustainability. So like tonight earlier we did what's up with water, and then I have so much knowledge on the huge emphasis on sustainable business and environmental policy, which actually are sort of separate and yet work in collaboration together. So I'm going to do the second series of scopes on social media and PR and stuff like that. Hopefully that some people will watch and actually make my life a little bit easier, because there's things that PR people are doing and I'm just like, why are you doing this? So so back to where we were. So we've got the title. We've talked about the title, the length of the title. We've talked about that first sentence. So that first sentence should be around 160 characters. If you look at it on Google, you have the title and there's always sort of like an introductory line. If you don't put anything in your program, they all-in-one SEO and WordPress, and in Joomla they'll just pull the first sentence. But sometimes that sentence isn't enough, especially if you're doing a press release and they've come in and they're like, today, so-and-so and so-and-so. Like, this is a typical press release I get from the EPA. Today, comma, which, by the way, as a poster, I hate the word today, because that would be the most popular word, and that's what they train in college. Put today there. That means it needs to be up there. But the reality of it is all news is not today. People can read it 3 days later, and it's still news to them. And so our goal on Southeast Green really is even if we're backed up, we will post everything that even maybe a month or 2 month old, because it's news to somebody. But it's annoying to have to go in and take today out. Because what if I publish it at 11 p.m., which is when I do most of my publishing, and it's not today anymore when the person reads it. So so EPA will send today, and then they'll list the EPA, and then they'll list 6 or 7 more organizations they're working with, and we still haven't gotten to the gist yet of what this is about. It may be they're doing fines or they're announcing a new program, but no one would know that from the first sentence, because the 160 characters are eaten up by today, comma, Environmental Protection Agency, parentheses, EPA, close parentheses, comma, Department of Human Resources. All right, now you've lost your 160 characters. So that's a good place when you get it's called the meta description. Rewrite it to make sure that people know that, this is about the grant program, or this is about the people who are going to be fined because they've polluted water or land or whatever. And then finally are the keywords. The keywords, spamming and keywords, I mean, for those of you who are really advanced, well, or are mediocrely advanced on this stuff, you'll know there's keyword, there's meta tags, and that is done one time in a different location on your site. But for every page you post, you have an opportunity to put in keywords. Don't spam them. Don't put your website name in there 12 million times. What I like to do is pick out 2 or 3 nouns that are in the headline, and those get put into the keywords. I pick out 2 or 3 phrases that are in the first paragraph that are about the article, and then I will put organization statements. I will put EPA, I will put HUD and things like that. But more importantly, it's important to, and nouns seem to be the best place to pull it out. I was having a conversation of like how you search, and if those of you who are on here would like to tell me how you search, because I'm like, do you search with participles, right? Do you search with conjunctions? Do you type in climate and environment? Do you type in water and conservation, or you just type in water conservation? And I don't search with participles and ands, because if you do a really targeted search, then in theory, based on what I know, and I may be wrong on this, but if you type in climate and environment, then it's going to look for all 3 of those words. Versus if you type in climate environment, then it just looks for those 2 words. And in reality, no one is going to list in an article climate and environment. So you can get a lot of sort of weird anomalies. But there's a couple of y'all on here. How do you search? How do you when you go to Google, do you use nouns? Do you use conjunctions? Do you use participles? Does anybody want to chime in? Okay, everyone's quiet. It's late. It's almost 11:30 on the East Coast. I got caught up in a scope with one of the people I watched, and she went long, and so I'm doing this a lot later. But anyway, if you ever want to give me some feedback, and you're watching this as a replay, or you're watching this on Southeast Green, I am going to post these under About Southeast Green, because I know the people who want to post, the people who want to be on Southeast Green are always looking for suggestions. So, hit me up on Twitter. Beth SC Green is my Twitter handle, and I'll be more than happy to answer. I would love to have your input into regard how you're posting, and are there words we're missing, and any feedback you have. I'm very active on Twitter, and I love to communicate with people via Twitter. I'm not great about communicating via email, because I'm just swamped, and it just doesn't matter what I do. I get more and more spam and that I have to sift through. But please, if you have a press release that you would like to put on Southeast Green that is pertinent to sustainability or environmental policy news in the 13 southeastern United States. So if you send me something about Switzerland, I will not post it. But if you send me something about Florida or North Carolina or Tennessee, I will definitely post it. So my email address is beth@southeastgreen.com. All right. Thanks, y'all, so much for joining. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.